Okay, and I haven't made the test yet, but how many questions are on the study guide? Was it like 30? Was it like 30?
31.
So then it's really 30 because I took one off of it, right? Your test is probably about 25 questions then. Okay, usually it's around 20 to 25. So here's the first problem. He should be back. There he is. Okay, just now getting started. Yes. Okay, so on the first problem, we think twice already. It says that the hiker, he climbs, he rests, he walks up a less steep hill, and then he goes on a flat surface, okay? So this one, it's a pretty steep climb. It's like a rest. It's a less steep climb, and then it's a flat surface. Does that one make sense? Okay, I mean, just be the first one. This one says it's a steep climb, a flat surface. That is a steep climb, but is that flat? No, there's still an elevation right here. Okay? This one is just weird. It's just a steep climb, and then he either quit or it was a flat surface. Okay? And then that one's not the answer. So does everybody understand why it's A?
Bro, he said I quit.
Yeah, he said I quit. Okay, boys, y'all got that? Test tomorrow, boys. Y'all make sure you're listening. Okay, number 2. Okay? This one says, what rule? And this one's weird. I know we ended up like not doing a whole bunch of these, but always plug and play and see which rule works for those ordered pairs. Does that make sense? You plug them in and see. Let me see if I can zoom in a little. That might be too much. Okay, so the first one, let's try. It says I'm going to plug in x value, like that says y equals x squared for my first one, x squared. But instead of writing x, what do I write? Yes?
We need to circle these because are these ones that are on the test or what?
I'm sure all of them, there's 5 that aren't, and I don't really honestly know which ones are not on there yet. Okay, so instead of x, I would put 1 squared. What is 1 squared?
1.
So that one works. Right. Let me try my next number.
2 squared is 4.
2 squared is 4. 3 squared is 9. 4 and so on. So does that one just so happen to also be the answer? If it wasn't, like this one says, okay, take your x value and add 2. Well, what's 1 plus 2 plus 2? Not 1. Is that everybody good with that? You just plug them in and see what works. Okay. Again, if you don't understand something, just ask me to go over it again. Okay? So, or circle it. All right, circle it, come back to it if you didn't understand one. This one, I'm trying to think. Yeah. So on this one, this is several problems. Okay, so you cannot mess up like the first problem. Because if you miss, then you may mess up 2 more behind it. Okay? So the first thing says, all right, we're going to make an equation. Skip all the words, y'all. Let's just write an equation for the perimeter. I usually write y equals, I know that they didn't. And so on each one of these stays the same at the end every time. The 6 and the 6, right? Which 12. That 12 is constantly there. It's right here. It's right here, and it's right here. Does everybody agree with that? Okay, every time it's got 12, so we 12 as our constant. What's it changing by every time? 5. I'm only adding one side every time. I'm adding 5x every time. Now they did not use letters as me. They used P and N. But which one matches that? There's only one answer where it's got 5x plus 12.
B.
D. This has 5x plus 6. 6x plus 5. 6x plus 10. Here it is. 5x plus 12. It's D. Is everybody okay with that? I used N. Does everywhere those numbers came from? Yes, you'll get that one right? Okay. Now, the next part, so that one was D. It's saying, what are you doing to the perimeter every time you add a triangle? If I add another triangle, what am I going to do to the perimeter?
Add 5.
Add 5. So, what's your answer?
A.
A. It's just asking what do you do to it every time you add another triangle. Another triangle. They're different. It just says, suppose you know the perimeter of triangles. How do you find the perimeter of the next one? N plus 1. The next triangle. You just add 5 every time. Does everybody understand number 4? It will have the same wording, y'all. So don't let the wording confuse you. Okay. Then, the third one says, okay, the first triangle, how many, or what's the perimeter? Sorry, not how many sides it has. What's the perimeter of the first triangle? Well, it was 6, 6, 6, and what is that? 17. So you're going to put 17 right there.
22.
The next, remember, what'd you say you're adding to each of them?
5.
5. So you could just plug it, or you can count. Okay, go back to your picture, count all the way around.
22.
It's 22, and then
28.
27. Add 5. So 17, 22, 27. Is everybody okay with that one? This matters. Is the next one the graph? Okay, so y'all help me remember those numbers. So really, 5 and 6, those are the ones that will affect each other, okay? So if you miss number 5, you probably miss number 6. So y'all said one triangle, listen, triangle is at 17, so that's about right there. 2 triangles was at what? 2, that was about right there. And 3 triangles was at 27. And y'all, you could keep going if you want to, or you can stop there. That's your graph, okay? And then we crossed off number 7, and it's not on there, because it's basically the same thing as the first one we did on this group of problems. Are we good so far? Good so far. And y'all were saying y'all are going to fail this. Y'all were saying it's going to be bad. Okay, this says, here we have a little table, and it's asking in your function, is it going to make a straight line? How do you figure that out?
Just look at it.
Just look at it like if it changes by the same amount every time, then it'll be a straight line. For some reason it jumped up. Like if it was changing the same amount, it's going to be a straight line. But if it had a big jump, is that going to make a straight line? No. So you have to see, is it changing the same amount? From 46 to 39, how did that change? It went down 7, okay? From 39 to 32.
7.
It went down 7. From 32 to 25.
7.
It went down. So is that a linear function?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. Okay, it changed the same amount.
Number 8, number 6 don't go together?
No, number 8, no. 6 was the last one in that group. Number 8 has able to use, okay? All right, then number 9, you can graph using your calculator, or you can pick some numbers, okay? I'm going to do both, okay? What 3 numbers would y'all like for me to pick?
1,
0.
Okay, we'll pick those. If you want to pick 0, 1, and 2, that's great too. But if I plug in -1, let me do that first. What is 3 times -1? And if I were you, I would enter that in on my calculator. 3 times -1 minus 2. And what's that going to tell me?
-5.
-5. So I would go up 1 and down 5. Does everybody understand my first point? Let's do another one. What do I plug in now?
3 times 0.
3 times 0
0 plus 5.
minus 2.
Minus 2 is negative.
And I would enter that in my calculator or use my head if I can not get my negatives wrong. 0, -2, that's that point. And then let's do the last. I'm going to plug in the 1 numbers. 3 times 1
It'd be 1.
minus 2.
3 minus 2 is 1.
So what does that mean? I go on my graph.
1, 1.
Over 1 and up. And then there's my line. Just make sure you draw your line. That's what it's asking for. What's the graph? It wants your line. The other way, y'all, is to use your calculator. Do I need to show the calculator way? I have has some no's. No. Okay, everybody's good with this. All right. If you use your calculator, you just have to remember to go to your table, and your table would give you these ordered pairs. So you don't have to do any math. Okay. So are we good so far? Yeah, not a bad test yet? Not yet, okay. Grace? Yes. Alright, the next one. It says, write a function rule. This is like for 10 and 11, I think. And tell if it's discrete or continuous. Yeah, it's for both of them. So number 10, what's most likely going to happen is one of those will be on the test. Remember, I'm taking 5 problems off. So one of these won't be on. So it's $11 each. It tells us to use C and N. Yes?
It's 11 times N and is
Yep. Okay, so cost is $11 per N DVDs. Because if it was 1 DVD, it would be how much? $11. If it was 2 DVDs, how much would it be? 22. So you're multiplying. So 11N. Now it is discrete because can you buy half of a DVD? No. So it's discrete. That would be that answer. This one's thing. Write the function rule. The cost for a pound of sugar, 59 cents a pound. So look for the one though. Be careful because this one almost got me. Which one has 59 cents per pound? D. It is not A, it is D. That one has the 59 cents. Okay, and it didn't ask if it was discrete or continuous. But what is that one? Continuous. Okay. Can you buy a half a pound of sugar?
yes.
You can. Okay, you can. I mean, most of it comes like a 5-pound thing. But you could actually measure a half a pound of sugar. You cannot get a half a DVD. Oh well, there's room to do that one. Okay, write a rule to describe this function. It's the same exact thing as these two. Okay, it travels at a rate of 2.3 feet per minute. So what do you want this to be? If you're traveling, what 2 things do you normally use? Time and distance. Okay, you'll need to know that for science. So let's use, how about D and T? Does it matter? No, you can use one if you would like, okay? So I'm going to put the distance is what? Yeah, our number here is 2.35. Alright, and you could have put M or T, whatever. You could have put Y equals 2.35x. Is everybody good with that? Yeah, whatever letter you want. So that's our function. 2.35 times your variable. Just like this one. Okay, this one asks something different though. How far will it travel in 5 minutes? What would be there? Yeah, you would just, and it's going to tell you how many feet it'll go. Right? So what is 2.35 times 5?
11.75.
So the distance is 11 point, what'd you say, 7? Say 7? There you go. That's feet. It's 11.75 feet. Okay, does everybody have that one? I want to see. Okay. All right. Okay. Anybody still writing? Yes. We'll see some writing. Y'all look, we're already done.
Is that a 6 right behind 5?
What 5? This right here?
Yes, ma'am.
That's a T. Sorry, it is messy. 2.35 T. I think on theirs they put M, or might put M. So I put the distance is 2.35 times M per minute. It doesn't matter again, okay? And then right here we plugged in 5. Okay, everybody's got it now? Yeah. All right, moving on to your next one. Let me erase all that. So they give us, let me see what it's at. They give us some ordered pairs. They want us to write it as a mapping. And then, don't the second part, y'all. Okay, make sure, look at the bottom part. What is the bottom part? Is it a function or not? So don't forget to, check that. So first of all, what goes in the first one? All x values. What goes in the second one? The y values. Okay, which is -6. So we can tell that it's either A or B already. Is everybody good with that part? I mean, it should just be that easy. That comes, so it goes first. That number comes second, so it goes where? Second. Now, is it a function or not? All that matters is the x value. Did my x be? So it's good. It's a function. Okay? The x value was not listed twice, so it is a function. So what's that answer? B. Okay? It's B. How was that?
Pretty good.
Okay, and that's kind of what it was over on Friday. Is it a function or not? Which all of your stuff, I'm did by tomorrow. Okay. Hopefully, even your tests. All right, then number 14. Okay, this one is just like the other one, except they wrote the function for us. Remember that one that we had to do with the snail or something? How far? This is the same thing. You can do 39 jumping jacks in X minutes. Okay? That's basically 39 jumping jacks per minute. So, how many jumping jacks in 5 minutes? What are you going to do with the 5? Multiply 39 times 5. That is the exact same question as the snail question. If you go back. So, what is 39 times 5? So it's A. So 14 is A. Okay. All right, 15. This one, y'all, we've done this one like 5 times. I'm just gonna have our answers up here. So the problem says you have 8 cups of flour, and each can do 24 cookies. So your domain is your flour, okay? Because how many cookies you make how much flour you use. So how much flour can you use? It's up to 8 cups. You can go anywhere from 0 to 8 cups of flour, all right? That's the first thing you're looking for. So it looks like graph A works. I mean, so far, I haven't checked all of it, but it goes from 0 to 8. What about this one? What does it go from? It doesn't go from 0. That one's going from 1 to 8. Okay, so anyway, it looks like it's going to be A or B so far. Let's look at how much flour we're talking about. I mean, how many cookies we're talking about. I can have 0 cookies, and I can go all the way up to, what is 8 times 24? 192. So it's either A or B. Let me check what the difference is on A. Look at what A says. It's backwards. Domain should be your flour. The range is how many cookies. Look right here. Your domain is always this. How many cups of flour? Your range is how many cookies. So it's B. Does everybody understand B? Yes. Okay. Look for the same thing on the test. Same thing every time. Okay. 16 and 17. We go back to more of those kinds of problems. These are more like what we did at the very last lesson. Okay, this starts our sequences, not series. Okay. So all these hour, and make sure you answer both parts. What's the pattern and what's the next 2 numbers? Most likely only one of these would be on there. Okay, and the second one's kind of a trick. But once you know the trick, you should get it. What are we doing on number 16? From 24, 22 to 20. Yeah, for the first part of your answer, you're going to put -2. Or you can write it out subtracting 2. Wait, make sure you're listening. Then what are the next 2 numbers?
16.
Subtract 2. What's 18 minus 2? 16. What's 16 minus 2? 14. So that's like the three things I'm looking. Subtracting 2, and then 16 and 14. Okay? Number 17 is a trick. What do you do? The same thing every time. What's our pattern? How do you negative to a positive number? Multiply by negative 1. Okay? It's going from negative 5 to 5, negative 5 to 5. I know your minds may go to, something with, like adding or subtracting a number. But this one is kind of a trick. You're multiplying by negative 1. So that's the first thing you're going to say. What are the next two numbers? Yeah, negative 5 and 5. Okay? So even if you were multiplying by negative 1, at least you could get the other part. Okay, the next two numbers. Everybody good with those? Yes. Number 18. Okay, now the next part, and I'm assuming, I'm not 100% sure. I might take off one of these, either 18 or 19. So it says, is it arithmetic? What does it mean to be arithmetic?
Is it like going by the same, or no, adding and subtracting?
Adding and subtracting, not multiplying and dividing. Okay, are you adding and subtracting every time? That's what it means to be arithmetic. Okay, they used to, when you were like in what they used to call it grade school, but like when you were really young, they said you learned writing and arithmetic. Arithmetic was like the best. Adding and subtracting. Okay. So like in kindergarten, are you multiplying and dividing? No, most likely not. Okay, so arithmetic, are you adding or subtracting the same number every time? So to go from 15 to what did I add?
Plus
4. To go from 19 to 23?
Plus
4, and then again plus 4. So is this one? Yes. And what was I adding this time? 4. Okay, last second. If I was subtracting 4, I would have negative 4, right? Minus 4, to let you know it was going down by 4. On this one, to go from 2 to 7, I add 5. What is 7 plus 5? Is that 13?
No.
It's 20. So is this one arithmetic? No, I wasn't adding the same thing every time. Remember, it has to be the same thing every time. So that one's no. Alright, this is what y'all did. We're getting to what y'all did on Thursday. Let me write. Well, I don't know if I need to write in video. I'll write it over the board. Your two equations. So let's first one. Recursive. Do y'all remember this? I'm forgetting it. Just plus. And then you have to say what the first term is. Okay? And then that's recursive, so let me write recursive.
Are you writing that formula on the board?
I think I have it. I just didn't want to switch back and forth up there. So I think I already have it saved on the file. The explicit formula tells you what term you're looking for. So this one is the first term plus that. Okay? And there's two things that you plug in every time. While that looks confusing, the only thing you need to plug in every time are A1 and D. What is A1? The first term, okay? So every time I'm going to find out what is A1, right here, and put my D in, my formula. On this one, I plug in what is my first term and my D, okay? And everything else I write exactly the same. So you're gonna use that, and I've put in green the only two things that you change. So first of all, let me move number 20 up. So number 20, it says, okay, you have a business with this checking account. The balance is $740 this month. So what is your starting number that we just started with? 740. That is my first. And first of all, it says an explicit formula. So which formula are we using? Top one or the bottom one over there? The bottom. And the first thing I plug in is the term. So for A1, what number did y'all say I'm plugging in? 740. So does everybody that right here? All four of those answers have that. Are we good so far? Next thing, we're gonna see how much is it changing by. What's our common difference? So how do we go from 740 to 707.60? Well, just subtract it and see. Okay, what did you say it's going by? 32.40. Is it going up or is it going down? Down. So you are going to do what? Subtract. Okay, or have a 32.40. So what comes next on my explicit formula though? N-1. So that one has an N-1 and that one has an N-1. Are we good? So everybody good? I'm just following my formula. Then comes my common difference, which she found to be at 32.40. Everybody good? We've already eliminated E and A. It's not those. They don't even look like the explicit formula. Okay? How in the world are we going to find the next thing? They give me two numbers in. Okay? If you look at your answer choices, it wants to know how many months can you pay your phone bill depositing any more money. So when we won't be, I guess, negative or whatever. So let's plug in 23. All right? If I plug in 23. Somebody locked the door. Was it locked? You were the last one to come in. Okay. So they give us two numbers. Let's plug them in. So we're just working on the study guide. So the first thing I'll do is I'll write out 740 plus, and instead of n minus 1, I'm going to plug in what number? 23 minus 1. What is 23 minus 1? 22 times negative 32. So plug that in your calculator. Let's see what we get. Let's start with 23 months. So I get,
That's just going to be on the board tomorrow.
either on the board over there or maybe on my screen. Hold on, I typed my numbers in wrong. So that one, it says it would have $27. I end up with 27.2. Does everybody did that? Yeah? So this means in just a second. Now on this one, what am I plug in? 24, and let's see what happens there. Let's see what I get here. So I would have 740 plus, what's 24 minus 1? Times negative 32.40. Plug this number in. And what do I end up with? A negative number. So which one could I use and not need more money? B. Your lunch account. What happens when you're in the negative? You owe money. Okay? On this one, there's not enough money. Does that make sense? Because I came out with a negative number. So this one, I still owe money. It's asking which one can you do with owing money. Clearly, it's B. Does everybody understand that? Because when I plugged in that number, I had a positive answer. When I plugged in this number, it was negative, so I had more money. Okay?
I need another one of those.
on how to do that one? Okay, I might come back to one. I have to make one, or find one on another sheet. And I'll come back to it at the end, okay? Does it kind of make sense? Do you get the formula part? Not on how to even do the formula. Okay. Let me go in, but if we need to, so circle 20, and we should have time here in a little bit. Come back over 20. And anybody else, if y'all have any others, circle them if there's one we need to go back over. All right, 20 says recursive formula. So y'all over there on the board, you're looking for something that matches the recursive formula. So the first thing I'm going to have is the AN, what thing over there on the board for recursive formula? AN minus 1. Then what's the last thing I'm going to change though? The D. So that's my difference. Going up how much every time? 4. Was it a positive or a negative 4? Positive 4. So I'm going to put plus 4. You should already see your answer. But then, other thing it tells us, like for some reason there's another number on there. What is the second question? What is the 8th term? How would I find the 8th term? Well, wouldn't I just keep 4 every time? So what's 13 plus 4? 17. And 17. 21. And then 21 plus 4. And then 25 plus 4. Oh, and that's the 8th term. So see, their second number is 29. So that one is C. All you're doing is matching the formula. Yes, the formula will be on the board. Thing you change is what's in green. For some reason, they didn't put the first term. This one. Was that one better for recursive? Was that one better than the explicit? Yeah? Okay. Can I erase? I did 22. And again, if you circle it, and we'll try to come back over it before y'all leave out. 22 says, what's going on with this graph? Explain what's happening. The first question though says, what are the variables? What are the 2 variables? They're on the graph. Time and number of handbags. So saying you're going to write is time and number of handbags. Number of bags. Or handbags, whatever. Okay? Everybody should get points for that one. Make sure you get your questions. How they are related at various points on the graph. So far, what does this mean right here? So far, she has no handbags are made. Right? So I'm just going to put that. No handbags are made. And you can label it. You can paragraph. You can put number. You know, like put 1 right here and over there, right? What number 1 is. So what happens right here? Yeah, she finished a handbag, right? So she was probably in a handbag at this time, and then finished a handbag. Finished a bag. Okay, so what do you think is going on right here? Point. Do y'all think she's making another bag? Yeah. So I could just put she's working on a bag. Working on a bag. And then what happened right here? Finished another, right? So I'm just going to write the word finished. And then finally, what do you think happened right here for the day? So she's working on a bag, and then stays constant. Maybe she stopped for the day. So made the last bag for the day. Made the last bag for the day. Do y'all kind of understand that? And if you wanted to write a little paragraph, you could. She worked on a handbag, finished. Worked on a handbag, finished it. Worked on the last handbag and finished it. She was done for the day. Like if I had a little paragraph, that might be how I would write it. Okay? Are we good with that one? Yeah? So to me, a little paragraph made them easier. So you write your variables and just explain what's on. we done with that one? Anybody still writing?
I'm still ready.
Okay, okay.
Alright, I'm on mute.
Then let's keep going. This one is the same thing as the other one. It says we're gonna graph. They give us the table, so you can do this on your calculator. Y'all, we already did one of these. Y'all remember it? They just wrote our table down. They picked our 3 numbers. But if you want to graph it on your calculator, type that in. Go to the table, and then you can just write it down what they are. If we're just going to use the table, I'm going to plug in negative 11 times, what's the first number they tell me? Negative 1 plus 6. What's negative 11? It's negative 1.
11.
11. 6, and what's that?
17.
So that one's kind of yucky to graph. I don't think I'll be graphing that one. Let's try the next one. Y equals negative 11 times 0 plus that's going to equal 6. So I can handle that. Where's that one at? Over 0, up 6. So I'll plot that. There's really not enough room for that phrase, so I'm not going to plot that one. Now the last one, what is it? Negative 11 times 1 plus 6. Huh? We get negative 5 for that answer. Because that would be a negative 11 plus 6. So I'm going to go over 1 and down 5. There's my second point. And I just draw a line through them. Okay, like that. That's your graph. Your graph should look like a line, just like it did on the other one that we did. Do I need to show anybody? Yes. If you had a calculator, you would just go to y equals, so that's at the top left, and you would type in negative 11 plus 6, I'm sorry, no, negative 11x, sorry, plus 6. Okay, and you're going to press graph. I'm going to have to change my graph, but all you have to do is press, and there it is. But that's not good enough. You actually need numbers. So to find your numbers, you press second graph, and that's this table. And see how you can go up and down, and look, it gives you all the answers that we just found, doesn't it? So you can just type them in. Write them down right here, and plot the points. Okay. All right. Moving along. Y'all, if there were some that you wrote down that you need to go over and we run out of time, then I might have to do them tomorrow before. I'm trying to go through it all. Okay, 24, it says just function rule. So it says the temperature in degrees Celsius is equal to, so what would I Celsius? C is equal to, all right, 5 nights. So I'm going to write 5 nights. What does of mean? Multiplying. But it's multiplying by several things. So when it lists several things, I'm multiplying by, use parentheses. Okay? And what am I multiplying by? 32 less than Fahrenheit. What does that mean? What am I doing in Fahrenheit? Well, switch that around. F minus 32. If this one's on there, it's the exact same question. Okay. And that is the actual formula for Celsius and Fahrenheit, which I'm sure you'll need also in science class. Okay, so that says 32 less than that Fahrenheit, multiply by 5 ninths. Let's see, 25. Know if we did that. We will probably skip 25. Just X 25 out. I don't know if that one's on. I'll have to look and take it off of so. Okay, 26. Identified domains. So you have to actually list them out. What's our domain? What's our range? What are the domain numbers?
-9, -4, 3, and 9.
There you go. 9, -4, 3, and 9. Just your X. What are my range numbers? 2. That's it. Listed all those. That's your answer for that one. How are we there? Domain, X values, range values. And if you forget, domain is before range. Again, yeah. It's messed up. We still have 6 minutes. Okay. Alright, everybody has that? Alright, let me hopefully go through these in 6 minutes. Alright, 27. Is that a function? If I draw a vertical line, yes, it would only go through one point at a time. Yes, it only goes through that one, that one, that one, that one. So yes, it's a function. That's all you do on there. Are we good? 28, and this is what y'all had on your paper. 28, is that a function? No, why not?
Because -5.
Yeah, -5 is listed twice right here. So this one is no. This one was yes. That's a vertical line test. Okay, no, I'm speeding up. 29, we've already had twice on here. So one of those is probably going to be taken off. But it says G of T equals 2T. That looks neat. It's just saying that represents guitar lessons. You can have, I'm guessing, 2 per month. So in 7 months, how many will you have had? What do you do with the 7? Yeah, you just plug it in and multiply. 2 times 7. Okay, you just plug it in right there. 2 times 7 is 14. That's the third problem that we did like that. The bells, y'all leave the bell schedule. Okay, I don't want y'all yet. Alright, number 30 are your X values. How do you find the Y values?
You plug in.
Yeah. So, I would say, okay, Y equals -2 instead of X, what do I write? -1 plus 6. So what's my answer? I would just plug all this in my calculator. -2 times -1 plus, what is that? 8. That's your first answer. How do I find the next one? Yeah, same thing. It's -2 times 3 plus 6. What's that going to be? 0. Okay, how do I find the next one? Plug in 7. So we get -2 times 7 plus 6. What's -14 plus 6? -8. And then the last one, I'll plug in 9. And what's -18 plus 6? -12. So those are all my answers for the round. The bus one, do y'all remember how to do the bus one? Do y'all want to see what the answer looks like? I think it was like this. Like it would just go and then it would slow down and stop. Something like that. Okay, and go over that one tomorrow right before. Look, I'll just show y'all. This is what their answer looked like. It's probably way better than mine. That's what theirs. You see theirs at the bottom?
Yes.
So it's kind of that right. It's because the bus takes off slow. It goes the same speed. It does not slam on its brakes to stop. Hopefully. Slows down. It stops. It speeds up. Goes the same speed. It slows down. Stop. Anyway, that's the bus way. Okay? And I know y'all need to go over some more. So come prepared tomorrow. And I can't take 10 questions because y'all know this is going to take a little while. All right. So just